Hey, you too. Just going on a little trip today. I'll take you along with me. It's a really nice day here in Austin. Actually up in the suburbs north of Austin. Going to be heading out towards Lake Travis. There's a little town out there called Jonestown. There's a little park. I've never been out there. I'm just going to go out there, use the park as a kind of a turnaround point. Let's see how that goes. So I'm riding my BMW R1250 RS. And now we'll be approaching kind of Brushy Creek area, Brushy Creek Park. There's a little creek over here, and head straight out to the west. Hopefully there won't be too much traffic. So this is a sport touring bike. I did another video earlier on a walk around, kind of detailed walk around about that. This is the first video I'm going to post on YouTube of me actually riding it. And straight ahead here up on the right is going to be the kind of Brushy Creek area park. There's a lot of people exercise and walk around here. Let's see if I can get it in gear. Yeah, here we go. Stuck on a little lip of the road there, wouldn't go into gear. So this should be about I think it's about a 20-mile ride, so it's not extremely long. But anyways, the riding of this bike, there's quite a few other content providers that made a lot of videos, test riding this bike. This is a 2020. It's in the Storm, I think it's Storm Metallic Black is what it's called. Whoops, this is new. Okay, here we go, finally. Gonna have to find another way to come back. I don't want to come back this way. Because during getting close to the rush hour, this is going to be crazy traffic here. Anyways, this is a 1250cc engine. It's got a lot of torque. It's really smooth, very fun to drive. Got a lot of bells and whistles, which I went over in the walk around. So if you want to check that out, it's just going to be a nice weathered, enjoyable day. Low wind, not a lot of wind either. Here in Texas, there always seems to be a lot of wind, so it's nice when you get a day with not a lot of wind. Center of gravity of this bike does make it's about it's 540 pounds, something like that, the bike, but the boxer engine really brings the center of gravity way down, so this bike feels a lot lighter than it actually is when you're in motion, and it's very easy to manipulate through turns and kind of flick it around when you want to. I took the racks off in another video. I took the back racks off for this. They came with racks for the panniers or the side luggage bags. I took those off because I don't use any luggage systems at this point. But it does come with them. It comes with the racks as well as the back luggage, so you can have three, bags back there if you want, and go out camping or touring or go for extended trips, which I hope to do sometime in the future. Anytime soon. So it's quite versatile, and it has the bars, kind of the clip-on balanced, but they're not fully dropped like a sport bike, but they're kind of in between. So you do lean forward a little bit. And today I've got the windscreen up to the highest position. So it just goes, that's to be the lowest position there. And you can see it's pretty easy, even in motion I can do it with one hand. And it does help with the wind a little bit. It does put you in a little bit of a bubble, but not completely, you know, especially when you get on the highway and you're doing 70 plus miles an hour, the wind still gets around that and hits you. I think most people get an aftermarket windscreen if they're going to be doing some long hauls on the highway especially. But for these kind of country roads and back roads, down or up is no problem. I'm just recording, and hopefully having this up will cut down some noise, because I do have an open-faced, I have a full shield, but I have open face because I like that. I feel a little bit too claustrophobic with the full face shield and the shin guard and everything. So the wind inside the helmet's a little louder on this one, I think, than you know, helmets have the full shin guard and everything in place. Today we're riding in dynamic mode. I hope you can see that in the camera, pointing at it there, dynamic mode. It's 66 degrees, so it's very comfortable with the riding gear on, not too hot, and I don't need to hand the heated grips, which is nice. And this does have the quick shifter, so I'm going to go from third to fourth. Very smooth. This bike also has cruise control, which I've used a few times, and I think one of the best times I used it, which surprised me, and it was just kind of an experiment, was to see how low speed could go. And I had it in second gear, and I was in a school zone, so the speed limit was 20 miles an hour, and it's quite difficult to keep this bike at 20 miles an hour, so I just hit the cruise control on in second gear at 20 miles an hour, and it kept it perfect. Today on the news, today's March 2nd, and just about an hour ago, the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, just announced that Texas is now open for business starting next Wednesday, 100%, and the wearing of masks mandate is no longer going to be enforced. But of course, COVID is still around, and so we just kind of left it up to businesses and people to take care of themselves and be careful. But I'm sure a lot of people are going to be going maskless now because of that, and I hope it just doesn't spike here. We do have the vaccine, but at this point it's only for frontline workers and people over 65 or people over 16 that have a pre-existing health condition. So I'm not in that category, and probably will not be able to get a vaccine until later in the spring or maybe early summer. Evidently this bike can do wheelies. Not that I'm going to be doing any, but if you put it in Dynamic Pro and then you go into the menu and give full authority to the throttle in Dynamic Pro, you can do wheelies, but I have it in just I have it in Dynamic, which is fine. I don't know, I don't see, I put it in Dynamic Pro and I did feel a little bit difference in the response to the throttle, but like road and Dynamic, I don't feel a whole lot of difference. But we're on Cypress Creek Road, and in my walk around I did introduce this this holder here that I have for my phone. So see, I'm using my phone, I'm using Google Maps right now. And I filled up gas, so you can see here I have 193 miles before I need to get to the gas station, and that's not full. I've already went on a couple of rides, so when I filled it up it was 220 was what the gas mileage was there. So it's not bad. I mean, 220 miles, it's not like you're going to ride straight for 220 miles without taking a break once in a while anyway, so. I'm surprised I haven't seen any motorcycles. Usually when it's nice like this, especially since we came out of the, Texas had that big polar vortex about a week ago, which just devastated Texas and, parts of Oklahoma in the south. This weather is just amazing. I can't believe, and there's a lot of riders here in Texas. I mean, if you go on YouTube, so many of the content providers that I watch I didn't know, but after a while of watching some of the videos I realized, hey, they're in Texas. So there's a lot of riders here. Usually I see quite a bit out, and it's always fun to see who's gonna do the motorcycle salute or not. Zeppelin Drive. There you go. Surprised someone hasn't spray painted lead up there. Here comes a motorcyclist. Let's see if you can get that salute. There you go. And we're here at taking a left on 1431 Whitestone Boulevard. This runs east and west for the most part, and it's probably about a 30 minutes, depending on traffic, probably about 20 to 25 to 30 minutes north of downtown Austin. If you're talking about downtown, like the Capitol building, it's probably about 30 minutes north. So when I do make videos, I'm gonna take you on rides where I have some kind of destination. This one is I just want to kind of get out here. I haven't been out this way ever, so I just want to get out towards the lake. So now this is just a straight shot out to Jonestown.